What do you need to be looking for in your accountant? Let's have a look today. Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcotts, qualified chartered accountant, property investor and entrepreneur. Let's sit down and have a chat. So you've decided to use an accountant. Fantastic, I'm happy. The next question we need to look at is, what do you need to look for in your accountant? As there's a few things I definitely recommend that you make sure are in place before you make that decision on who to use. So let's get started and look at a few of the different things that you should be considering when you choose your accountant. Now, the starting point that I'm always going to say is, what qualifications do they have? What type of accountant are they? Now, there's two I would definitely consider working with. Someone who is a chartered accountant like myself, or someone who's a certified accountant. Now, you'll be able to tell whether they are or not is by a little acronym which you will see, which is either an ACA or FCA, which is a chartered accountant, or an ACCA or FCCA, which is a certified accountant. If you want to know what the F means, it's just that they've actually been an accountant for a little longer than the ones who don't, normally at least 10 years. So it just means they've got a bit more experience. But if they've got that acronym after their name, if you see that with the practice details, then you'll know that they're a qualified practice, which means they will have had to take the exams, they will have had to pass different things, so they should have the knowledge that you were expecting them to have as an accountant. Moving on from being qualified, what else should we be considering? Now, the first thing I always definitely say after the qualifications is, do you actually like the person that you were talking to? If you don't get on, then maybe they're not the right person for you. So it is kind of finding, like speed dating, of finding the right people that you actually can get on with, who you understand, who you connect with. You've got to have a good vibe with your accountant, because potentially as you develop your business, you're going to be wanting more advice, more information, more knowledge, and you want to make sure you're understanding what they're telling you, how they're telling it to you, and that you're happy with that relationship, because it is very much a relationship. And if it's anything like some of the clients I've got, you'll probably be with your accountant for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And from our practice's point of view, we have generational clients where we've been working with parents and now working with children. So it really does build that bond that you find the right person to help you and your family develop and grow throughout the decades. Having found someone who's qualified and that you like, the next thing is, what do they know about your business? Do they understand your business? Do they know what you're talking about and how it all fits together? Because it's very crucial that they have a good knowledge of what you're looking at, so that they'll be able to advise you in the right way with the right information, from general accounting questions all the through to more technical tax implications of how everything fits together. How up to date are they? Are they up to date with all the latest changes? Do they know about things like making tax digital? What are they advising and what are they suggesting? Now, we have a Finance Act each year, we have a budget each year. So are they keeping up to date with what the implications of these budgets are and how the tax rules are changing, to make sure you're getting the best advice and the right advice for what you're doing in your business right now? Obviously, over the years, things have stayed the same, but things have also changed. So we need to make sure that they're going on the courses and that they're doing the different things to ensure they know what they're telling you is the right thing. And you're not going to be getting different advice from different people. You want to be making sure you're getting the right advice from the right person at the right time. Now, initially, you may find that you only need one service. You might be starting off with one buy-to-let in your own name. And you've decided an accountant is the right place to go to help you. But you might be wanting to get 50, 100 properties, and you might be wanting to do that in not just your own name, but in a couple of companies and in a group. So when you originally speak to this accountant, you don't just want to understand what they can do for you now. You want to understand what can they do for you in the future. So can they do tax returns? Yes, great, that sorts you out today. But then, can they do company limited accounts? Do they know the difference between the financial reporting standards 105 and 10218, the micro and the small company account, and what's going to be best for you. Check out the video on those if you're not sure what they are. Are they going to be able to provide payroll services if your company is going to start paying you a salary? Are they going to be able to help you with the VAT registration and the VAT side of things if you decide to go down a serviced accommodation route? So look at what they offer in totality, as well as just the services that they are offering that fulfill your needs now, to make sure that you aren't going to grow and expand out of your accountant, that you can hopefully grow and expand together. How often are you going to need to speak to them? Now, if you need to speak to them every day, have they got the capacity to be speaking to you every day? Or do you only need to speak to them once a year and that's not a problem? Or would you like to be speaking to them every month to just keep up to date on different things? This is very much dependent on what you're wanting in your accountant. Maybe also how much you're wanting to spend on accountancy fees, because obviously the more you talk to them, the more that your fees are likely to be. But depending on that balance between what you're wanting from your accountant and what fees you want to be paying, you need to find out the balance as well as the capacity of that accountant to make sure that they can be delivering the service that you want to be receiving. Do they have the industry knowledge and experience? Now, we're talking about property here because we're a property accountancy and tax channel. So have they got the property knowledge, the property industry specifics? Have they got investments themselves? Are they going to be able to support you because they've actually been through a refurbishment? They've had it where the builders haven't worked. They've had it where the builders are great. They've also had to go through that endless amount of paperwork to get a refinance through and get the remortgage dealt with. What can they bring to the table of everything to understand what you're going through so they can give you the right advice at the right time and add real value to you and your property business? Let's talk about fees. What are you going to actually be getting for your money? How much are you going to be paying, and what does that entail? Now, you'll notice that there is smaller accountancy practices, maybe 1 or 2 people, and the fees are probably slightly lower. You'll also notice there's some mid-tier ones where there's maybe, 5, 10, 20 people, and then you'll get to the bigger boys in the accountancy sector. Maybe not your PwC and KPMG, maybe you're not at that level, but there is a whole range of sizes of practices. So it's about finding the right size that suits you, with the right knowledge, with the right experience, to give you the right fees. Obviously, depending on the size of the practice will depend how many team members they've got and how accessible and available they may be. Now, as a one accountant business, they may give you a mobile number and you can text them and they'll respond whenever. Or maybe they don't work like that. Maybe you go to a bigger firm, so if one of your key contacts is on holiday, there's someone else who can always answer your question. So this will have an impact on the size of practice, and then when you know what size is the right sort of size, then you'll also be able to have a look at what services are included. Are they going to just be doing your accounts, or are they doing your accounts and payroll and VAT? Are they doing your tax return and accounts? There's so many different variety of services you may wish to use and work with your accountant with. So check out what you're looking at and what is included in that price. Moving forward, there'll probably be more software included. With Making Tax Digital, we're all going to have to be using some sort of software. So check out, is your software included in your fees? How much is that going to be? So there's quite a lot of things to consider when you're looking at the fees, not just how much it is. What does it include and what value is it going to bring to you? Another point to note is, will you be able to get hold of them? As I've just said, maybe they're a one-person accountancy practice and you won't be able to get hold of them a couple of weeks of the year because they're on holiday. Does that cause you any problems? Maybe not. That's fine. If it does cause you problems, then maybe that size of practice or that person isn't the right person for you, and you might need a slightly bigger practice where there's maybe 5, 6, 7 people. So when you do phone, you can get through to the right person and someone will be able to answer your questions. The key thing here is making sure you're getting what you need out of your accountant and really having them support you and your business. And a final thing really to mention is what else they're bringing to the table. Are they keeping you up to date? Are they providing additional content? Are they sending relevant newsletters to you? Are they doing networking? Are you seeing them out in the real world? What else are they bringing to the table to make it really work for you and your business? If you do need help from an accountant, I'm obviously going to plug Shapcotts Accountants now, as that's where I work and that is my accountancy practice. So if you do need an accountant or would like to speak to us, please do get in touch. The details are below. But if you do need an accountant, find the right one, because it's very crucial that you have a great relationship with your accountant, as I have with many of my clients who I really do love working with. Hopefully today you've discovered what you need to look for in your accountant, and maybe you've got a checklist of things that you want to be asking to find the right person to work with. If you do have any comments, please leave them in the box. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. Let's make tax less taxing.